Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the online Arabic classes offered by Bayt al-Hikmah in Deoband. This is your brother Muhammad Anwar Khan al-Qasmi, the managing director of the institute and the lead teacher in it. We are on page number 65 in Al-Qira'atul al-Wadihah, part 1, al-Juz'ul Awwal. And this is lesson number 37. Ad-Darsu Sabi'u wa Thalathun, the 37th lesson. So first of all, we have to understand the concept and the main grammatical theme of this lesson. In fact, this lesson number 37 discusses a very important concept of Arabic grammar, and that is called Ya'un Nisbah or Al-Ismul Mansub or the Nisbah adjective. So this lesson deals with the Nisbah adjective or Al-Ismul Mansub. What Al-Ismul Mansub is, what the Nisbah adjective is. Before I dwell on it, I would like to explain a certain ya which is called as Ya'un Nisbah. Basically, at many places we use a certain ya with shadda, and that ya is known as Ya'un Nisbah. And Nisbah literally means attribution. And we use that ya to form a certain type of adjective, to form a certain type of noun. And that is the reason sometimes we call this type of noun as the Nisbah adjective or the Al-Ismul Mansub. This type of adjective or this type of noun is formed for the purpose of indicating a person's place of origin or tribal affiliation or ancestry. This type of adjective shows that a certain person belongs to a certain area, to a certain land, to a certain city, to a certain country, or he has a certain tribal affiliation or a certain ancestry. And we do that by adding Ya'un Nisbah at the end of the name. For example, Misr. Misr meaning Egypt. Misr is the name of a country. So if you want to get this type of noun like Nisbah adjective or the Nisbah noun or Al-Ismul Mansub, so you have to add ya with shadda to the noun Misr, and you will get this type of adjective. For example, Misr, you added ya with shadda, Misri. So now Misri means the person who is originally from Egypt, or who belongs to Egypt, who is from Egypt. So this ya with shadda we just added at the end of the name. This is the letter which brought this sense, which brought this meaning, which brought this belonging and this affiliation. So in short, we use ya with shadda at the end of any name to form a certain noun as Nisbah adjective or Al-Ismul Mansub, and the purpose is to indicate the place of origin of a person or his tribal affiliation or ancestry, meaning he belongs to that country, he belongs to that city, or he or she is from a certain ancestry or from a certain tribal affiliation. I'm giving you another example. For example, you want to say You want to say that someone belongs to Hind, belongs to India. So what you would do? First of all, you would add Ya'un Nisbah. Ya'un Nisbah always comes with Shadda. And you have to suffix this Ya'un Nisbah, this Ya with Shadda, at the end of the noun. And in this example, Hind, you will suffix and say Hindiyun. Hindi. So this Hindiyun, this means someone or something that belongs to India, or someone comes from India. India is the place of origin for some person, or India is a place of origin for something. So this is very important. So this noun, which comes as a result of the suffixation of the Ya'un Nisbah with Shadda at the end of the noun, this is known as Al-Ismul Mansub, or the Nisbah adjective. Okay, and we suffix this Ya with Shadda for many purposes. As I said, for the purpose of showing the place of origin, for the purpose of showing tribal affiliation, for the purpose of showing ancestry. And also, sometimes we use, for example, simply to show that something is related to something, something is attached to something. For example, we say Markaz. Markaz meaning center. Markazi meaning central, meaning something which is related to the center. Al-Watan. Watan meaning nation. And Watani meaning national. So this is a very important suffixation. This Ya'un Nisbah is very important, and we have to know how to use it, and that is the main theme of this lesson. Before we proceed with the lesson, I would like to add one more thing. That is, what do we do if we want to get the feminine form? It is so simple. We simply add round ta to the Ya'un Nisbah. For example, Hindiyun. Hindiyun meaning a man who comes from India, or something masculine that comes from India. But if you say Hindiyatun, meaning so a woman that comes from India, or something feminine that comes from India, it is so simple. You have just to add the round ta to the end of the noun, and you will get the feminine form. Okay. Qasrun Jamilun. Now starting the main lesson. Qasrun Jamilun, a beautiful palace. So in fact, this lesson has been designed as a description about a certain palace. And while describing, while illustrating this palace, a number of words will be used which are from the category of Ya'un Nisbah, or Al-Ismul Mansub, or the Nisbah adjective. You have to keep that in your mind, and you have to keep at the same time how the meaning changes after the suffixation of the Ya'un Nisbah. Qasrun Jamilun, a beautiful palace. Hamid says, Unzur ya Khalid. Khalid, look. Hada Qasrul Amiri. This is the palace of the Emir. This is the palace of the prince. Al-Amir, Amir, prince. Qasrun Jamilun, a beautiful palace. Qasrun Jamilun, a beautiful palace. Khalid says, Qasrun Badi'un wa Kabirun. Qasrun Badi'un wa Kabirun. Badi'un meaning marvelous, wonderful, amazing, unique. So Qasrun Badi'un wa Kabirun, a marvelous, and large palace. So qasr is mawsoof, man'oot. Badi'un is sifa, adjective. And kabirun is also adjective. So here qasr has two adjectives, badi' and kabir. Qasrun badi'un wa kabirun, a marvelous and large palace. وَمَا فِي هَذَا الْقَصْرِ يَا أَبِي? My father, what is in this palace? My father, what is in this palace? Hamid, في هذا القصر جنينة واسعة ونافورة جديدة. In this palace, there is a large garden. واسعة, large, spacious. ونافورة جديدة, and a new fountain. جنينة واسعة ونافورة جديدة, a large garden and a new fountain. وله باب رئيسي, and it has a main gate, وباب جانبي, and a side gate, and iron fence, iron boundary. So this ra'isiyun, janibiyun, and hadidiyun, all these three are al-asma'ul mansuba, or al-ismul mansub, or the nisbah adjectives. We formed them by using ya with shadda, by suffixing ya. By suffixing ya, and then we got that particular sense which I explained in the beginning of this lesson. So وَلَهُ بَابٌ رَئِيسِيٌّ وَبَابٌ جَانِبِيٌّ وَسُورٌ حَدِيدِيٌّ. Ra'isiyun was originally Ra'is, and Janibiyun was Janib, and Hadidiyun was Hadid. So Ra'is meaning also main, and Ra'isiyun something which belongs to that particular main category. And Janibiyun, Janib meaning side, and Janibiyun something which belongs to that. And Hadidiyun, Hadid meaning iron, and Hadidiyun something which is from the origin of iron. So that is what we do after we form an adjective through the process of suffixation of ya, ya'un nisba. So في هذا القصر جنينة واسعة ونافورة جديدة وله باب رئيسي وباب جانبي وسور حديدي. In this palace, there is a large garden, a new fountain, and it has a main gate and a side gate and an iron fencing, iron fence, iron boundary, iron railing. Surun meaning boundary, fence or fencing, railing. Hadidiyun, something which is from the origin of iron. So Ra'isiyun, Janibiyun, Hadidiyun, these three nouns are nisbah adjectives. Khalid, وَأَمَامَ الْبَابِ عَمُودٌ حَدِيدِيٌّ, and there is an iron pillar, iron pole, أمام الباب, in front of the gate. حديدي, again the same word. عليه مصباح كهربي, and there is an electric bulb on it. كهربي, this was كهرباء, this was كهرباء, and we now have it as كهربي. Actually what happens is that in some cases, when there is alif at the end or there is round ta at the end, so we drop that. We have to drop the alif or the ta, and then we have to suffix ya'un nisba. So it was kahraba, and when you convert it, the same word, into nisba adjective, so what you did is that you just drop the alif, and now it is kahrabiyun. Like we say Amrika, Amrika, and if you want to convert this noun by suffixing ya'un nisba, so first of all you have to drop that alif. So you drop the alif and now it is Amrikiyun. So أمام الباب عمود حديدي, there is an iron pole in front of the gate. عليه مصباح كهربي, and there is an electric bulb on it. So حديدي كهربي, both these words belong to the category of al-ism al-mansub or the nisbah adjectives. Hamid says, انظر يا خالد. Khalid, look. الباب الرئيسي مفتوح. The main gate is open. الباب الرئيسي مفتوح. The main gate is open. والثاني مغلق. And the second one is closed. والثاني مغلق. And the second one is closed. Khalid says, أمام الباب صندوق خشبي. ولماذا هو يا أبي؟ أمام الباب, in front of the gate, صندوق خشبي, an wooden box. صندوق, box. خشبي, meaning wooden. This is a very important word. Khashab meaning wood, and now you are converting this word into al-ismul mansub. So you are suffixing ya with shadda. So it became khashabij. It was khashab, and after suffixation it became khashabiyun. And this is al-ismul mansub or the nisba adjective. And we formed that by using ya with shadda at the end of the name, at the end of the noun. أمام الباب صندوق خشبي, there is an wooden box in front of the gate. ولماذا هو يا أبي? And for what is that, O my father? What is that for, my father? لماذا, for what purpose? Huwa, that is. Ya Abi, my father. O my father, what purpose is that for? Hamid says, هذا الصندوق الخشبي للبريد يا خالد. Khalid, this wooden box belongs to the post. So al-barid meaning post. This wooden box is used for the post people send. So هذا الصندوق الخشبي للبريد يا خالد. Oh Khalid, this wooden box is for post. Khalid, هل دخلت هذا القصر يا أبي? Khalid says, my father, did you enter this palace or have you entered this palace? Hamid says, نعم يا خالد. Yes Khalid, أنا دخلت هذا القصر. I entered this palace. هو بديع جدا. It is extremely marvelous. بديع, marvelous, amazing, wonderful, unique. هو بديع جدا, that is extremely marvelous. Khalid says, هل رأيت في القصر شيئا آخر? Did you see something else in the palace? هل رأيت في القصر شيئا آخر? Did you see something else in the palace? Hamid says, نعم. رأيت فيه شيئا آخر. I saw something else in it. فيه مزلة خشبية. There is a wooden umbrella. Mizalla, umbrella, sunshade. Mizalla is something which is used in the form of an umbrella to avoid sun, to avoid heat of the sun. So mizallatun khashabiyya, a wooden umbrella. Fihi mizallatun khashabiyya, there is an wooden umbrella in it. Amamaha nahrun saghirun, there is a small river in front of it. Amamaha nahrun saghirun, there is a small river in front of it. لون مائه فضي, the color of its water is silver. Great. So it was fiddatun, and now you converted it into al-ismul mansub and it became fiddiyun. I had explained the rule in the beginning of this lesson, if you remember, that if there is round ta at the end or alif, so in that case we have to remove that alif or ta before we suffix ya'un nisba. So that is what was followed here. There was round ta, we removed that, and then we attached ya with shadda. So lawnu ma'ihi fiddiyun, the color of its water is silver. So fiddiyun, this is al-ismul mansub, or this is an-nisbah adjective. And now you have tamreens. Tamreen number 1. And in this tamreen, we will see some examples of ya'un nisba, and in some cases we will see mawsuf and sifa, man'ut and na'at structures. So this is a mixed exercise. In some of them you will see the al-ismul mansub, and in some of them simply there will be a mudaf and mudaf ilayh, or the mawsuf and sifa type of construction. So babul qasri ra'isiyun, the gate of the palace is ra'isiyun, main. Babul qasri ra'isiyun, okay, meaning the gate of the palace is central. Surul qasri hadidiyun, the boundary or the railing of the palace is iron. Hadidiyun, iron, we have to use iron here. Junaynatul qasri wasi'atun, the garden of the palace is large. Nafuratul qasri jadidatun, Nafuratul qasri jadidatun, the fountain of the palace is new. Mizallatul qasri khashabiyatun, the sunshade of the palace is wooden, or the umbrella of the palace is wooden. Nahrul qasri saghirun, Nahrul qasri saghirun, the river of the palace is small. The river of the palace is small. Qasrul amiri jamilun, the palace of the prince of the emir is beautiful. Qasrul hukumati kabirun, the palace of the government is large. Kabirun, we will use kabirun here. And qasrul maliki badi'un, Qasrul maliki badi'un, the palace of the king is marvelous. Babun ra'isiyun, main gate. Qasrun kabirun, large palace. And now combining both these parts into one sentence. So you see, al-babur ra'isiyu lil qasril kabiri. What we did is that we combined both of them to have a one complete sentence. So al-babur ra'isiyu lil qasril kabiri, the main gate is of the large palace. Al-babur ra'isiyu lil qasril kabiri, the main gate belongs or is of the large palace. You see, nafuratun jadida, nafuratun jadida, a new fountain. Junaynatun wasi'a, a large garden. So nafuratun jadida, new fountain. Junaynatun wasi'a, large garden. And nafuratul jadidatu lil junaynatil wasi'ati, the new fountain belongs to the large garden. The new fountain belongs to the large garden, is of the large garden. Now we have tamreen number 2. In this tamreen, in this exercise, we will be using the patterns of al-ismul mansub in different sentences. So let us see. Ana dakhaltul qasra min al-bab al-janibi, I entered the palace from the side gate. I entered the palace from the side gate. Wa kharajtu min al-bab al-ra'isi, and exited from the main gate. Wa kharajtu min al-bab al-ra'isi, and exited from the main gate. Al-bab al-janibiyyu fi al-shimal wa huwa saghirun, the side gate is in the north and that is small. الباب الجانبي في الشمال وهو صغير. The side gate is in the north and that is small. هو مفتوح كل وقت. That is open each time. هو مفتوح كل وقت. That is open each time. الباب الرئيسي في الشرق. The main gate is in the east. The main gate is in the east. وهو كبير. And that is huge. That is big. وله نافذة. And that has a window. هي مفتوحة. And that is open. أنا جلست أمام النهر الصغير في الجنينة تحت المزلة الخشبية. This is a long sentence, but this is very easy. أنا جلست, I sat down. أمام النهر الصغير, in front of the small river. في الجنينة, in the garden. تحت المزلة الخشبية, under the wooden sunshade or under the wooden umbrella. I sat down in front of the small river in the garden under the wooden umbrella. So you can see al-mizallah again has been used, which is umbrella. And al-khashabiyya, this is al-ismul mansoob. And then you have tamreen number 3. Min ayyi shay'in hadha as-sunduq. What is this box made of? هذا الصندوق من الخشب. This box is from wood, meaning this box is made of wood. أهذا الصندوق خشبي? Is this box wooden? نعم هذا الصندوق خشبي. Yes, this box is wooden. ما هذا? What is this? هذا صندوق خشبي. This is a wooden box. لأي شيء هذا الصندوق الخشبي? For what is this wooden box? هذا الصندوق الخشبي للبريد. This wooden box is for post, for mail, for courier. البريد post and mail. أي صندوق للبريد? Which box is for the post? للبريد الصندوق الخشبي. The wooden box is for the post. هل للبريد صندوق حديدي? Is there an iron box for the post? لا, no. للبريد صندوق خشبي. There is a wooden box for the post. من أي شيء سور القصر? What is the boundary or the railing of the palace made of? سور القصر من الحديد. The boundary of the palace is made of iron. هل السور خشبي? Is the boundary wooden? لا, no. السور حديدي. The boundary is iron. أين المصباح الكهربي? Where is the electric bulb? المصباح الكهربي على العمود. The electric bulb is on the pole. المصباح الكهربي على العمود. The electric bulb is on the pole. So Alhamdulillah, we completed this lesson and this discussed the concept of al-ismul mansoob or ya'un nisbah, which is very important for a student to be mastered, because this is one of the frequently used nouns or adjectives, meaning which have the ya'un nisbah. So we have to know that. And Alhamdulillah, I explained all the information, all the related rules of ya'un nisbah, and I hope that everything is clear. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.